Kalalal Yahweh, Bashem Yashai, Bashem Karakodash, abundance to the elders and apostles of Gilden Stone, and salutations to all the brothers pushing this work in all sincerity and in all truth. I'm the brother Yahya from James Kings in Jamaica camp, here once again with a quick listen. And this is just me lambacking off a video done by the brother Judas Roba, right? So this brother pretty much is a listen on the bill that is passed by Australia authorizing police to arrest individuals who post misinformation online, right? Now this is a classic order through case paradigm. This is a classic example where they have a disturbance a disturbance in their society, and they make a big enforcement through law that is not necessarily necessary or required. You understand? So let's read a bit in the article. So it says Australia passes bill authorizing police to arrest citizens who post misinformation online. Now this is a reaction to the Bondi Beach attack in Sydney, Australia. Now when you look into that attack in Sydney, Australia, right, you have a small article on Wikipedia, right? So it says on 14th of December 2025, which is just a month ago, right? So you can see that now in this month it's basically a fast-paced movement of getting this bill to pass, right? So it says on the 14th of December 2025, an Islamic State-inspired terrorist attack occurred at Bondi Beach in Sydney, Australia during a celebration of the Jewish holiday of Hanukkah attended by around 1,000 people beginning at 6:42 p.m. Two gunmen, allegedly Sajid Akram and his son Naveed Akram, killed 15 people. Right? Now when you read down into this particular article, you can see that this is not the first time Australia passed a bill after a deadly attack, quote unquote deadly attack, because we don't know if this is a psyop, yes or no, because we know that is one of the tools Edom use to get across his agenda. And right now we move into a more totalitarian means of living through these governments, through these bodies of government. So they need to have some boogeyman to blame a situation and for them to bring across a agenda that they have had in the pipeline for years, right? So when you read down into this article, it says the Bondi shooting is the first deadly attack on Jews in Australia. It is the deadly terrorist attack in Australian history, deadliest terrorist attack in Australian history, right? And the second deadliest mass shooting in modern Australian history. Mass casualty attacks are uncommon in Australia. The country enacted strict gun laws in response to the 1996 Port Arthur massacre, in which 35 people were killed following the Bondi Beach shooting, right? So you can see where pretty much as soon as a massive event like this happens, they go forward to passing laws. They go forward to enacting gun laws. They go forward to restrict media posts. Is it trying to shut you up from speaking? Them say you're gonna have hate speech. So they enact laws to combat this situation instead of finding other means of doing these things, man. Basically mitigating the possibility of these things happening, right? So them enacting laws really and truly don't solve the problem, right? Because people can import guns. You see, there's a lot of illegal guns in Jamaica that has been passed through the port that has not been declared as are licensed guns. You see me? So having strict gun laws and regulations of guns won't solve the problem, man. So you can see that this is a means of removing the ability of individuals from protecting themselves from the powers that be, and blaming the situation on just basically two man have a gun and do a mass shooting. You see me? They make some radical decision and bring forth laws to basically reduce your rights, right? Reduce your ability to speak freely. So right now them have narrative that if you speak something that is possibly true against the government, them can call it misinformation, and through the laws that they have enacted, right, arrest you, right? So that is basically what is happening here. That is basically what is taking place right here, man. Right? So going back to the article, it says what? It says the Australian Parliament has passed 2 new bills that will set up a national gun buyback scheme, right, and authorize police to arrest citizens who post hate speech or misinformation online. And this is clearly a reduction of your rights, right? This is clearly a breach upon your rights of freedom of speech, right? Your rights to protect yourselves, right? It says in Australia's lower house, the gun buyback bill passed 96 to 45 with the Liberal National Coalition opposing, while the hate and extremist focused bill passed with amendments securing 116 votes to just 7, right? So it says reports later on event on the evening of January 20, both bills made it through the Senate. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese wrote on X that the government was standing against it and strengthening national security. So they are going to start passing certain things off as hate speech. If people speak against the attack and massive killing of Palestinians by the Israelis, right, they are going to say that is hate speech, right? Hate speech going against calling you anti-Semitic. You're an anti-Semite because you're speaking against the horrible and horrendous means by which they are attacking the Palestinians, right? So they are going to say that is hate speech, and they have no legal rights to arrest you, right? So the scripture says in the book of Psalms 94 verse 20, it says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frame mischief by Allah? So them a frame mischief by Allah, man. Them a take away your rights via law that they have pushed, right, to accomplish an agenda. And this narrative is pretty much right across the board, right? It's right across the board, man, right? We are seeing right now in America where police officers are going around asking individuals about media posts that them post up. So soon you won't be able to say anything. Soon you won't be able to talk against the government, right? Soon you won't be able to speak against any bills or any things that the government is doing to the people, right? Because they are putting themselves in a position to pass laws that is restricting your rights to speak, man. That is restricting your ability to say anything about any upheavals that they are causing on the masses, right? Let's play that video.
The more you stay home, the less you want to leave. And the more you stay, the heavier everything feels. So it's called...
Pictured in the church, you were not sure.
Okay.
Is that your account?
I refuse to answer questions without my lawyer present. So I really don't know how to answer that question either.
Well, like I said, you're not going
this
to
is freedom of speech. This is
Yeah, why the hell them a go up to somebody's house asking the person if that is their account? You see me? When they did not post anything radical on their social media page, right? They just mentioned something about the mayor, you see me? And the way he treats Palestinian. That's what I think the post is about. It's nothing about killing nobody or making up uprising or basically causing no revolt or no coup, man. Nothing like that. But yet still these police officers at the individual's house asking about if for them social media pages, man. You see me? We can see what is taking place. We can see what is going to happen from this standpoint, man. Where they are going towards. This is a totalitarian regime, man, taking place, rising, right in front of your eyes, locking off your means of speaking, locking off your freedom of speech.
veteran.
And I agree with you 100%.
Okay.
We're just trying to see if it's you, and if we're not talking to the right person, we want to go see who the right person
Okay,
is.
how can I help you?
So pretty much it's just a statement that was made as far as
Verbatim, it says the guy who consistently calls for the death of all Palestinians tried to shut down a theater for showing a movie that hurt his feelings. and refuses to stand up for the LGBTQ community in any way. Even leaves the room when they vote and on related matters. Wants you to know that you are all welcome. Clown face, clown face, clown face. 3 days ago.
You don't know if it was you?
I'm not going to answer whether that's me or not.
Okay.
The concerning part, and not concerning for the person who's posting it, what we're just trying to prevent is somebody else getting agitated or agree.
Yeah, trying to prevent somebody else getting agitated. What you mean? You see me, I got the person who posts it to prevent somebody else from getting agitated. What sense that make?
With the statement, we're not saying it's true or not.
Understood.
That guy who consistently calls for the death of all Palestinians, that can probably incite somebody to do.
And that is to show you that they are policing social media pages, man. You see me? And this is going to build their record of individuals who they can go after in the days to come. You understand? To see who is with their agenda, who is with the things that they are doing, right? And see who is against them. Right? They're going to build cases, and that is why pushing this ministry and pushing this truth is so dangerous, because we are putting our lives and freedom at risk for speaking against this current society, man, for speaking against the abominations of this current society, for speaking against LGBTQ, for speaking against the tyranny of the leaders of Israel, for speaking against the laws that they have promoted. You understand? You see? So this is a labor of love for the elect of the nation of Israel, which are the Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You understand?
Something radical. That's all we're here to talk about. And we wanted to get your side. If it was you that posted that, too.
Yeah, man. So that is it on the video, man. You see? So we can see where the narrative is going. And the narrative is going into losing your freedom of speech, losing your ability to say what you believe is right and just. Right? So this is the book of Amos. Amos chapter 8 and verse Amos chapter 8 verse 11. It says, "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh." Right? So the words of Yahweh is going to basically start being pushed forth in the days to come, in the time of Jacob's trouble, because we have done all that we can do. You know, we have shown you the agenda, we have shown you the means by which the world is going into, right? We have shown you how the so-called white man is increasing his totalitarian powers upon the earth, right, to gain massive control over humanity, right? And there's going to come a time when the cup is full and the Son of the Heavenly Father shall return, and return to overthrow the beast, right? Overthrow America, NATO, and EU, and to set up the kingdom of Israel, right, upon the earth. That is the time that is coming, right? So all these things that is happening is in alignment with prophecy, man. You see, it's in alignment with what's going to take place in the coming days ahead, right? This is the book of Isaiah chapter 10, starting at verse 1. It says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievous which they have prescribed, to turn aside need from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless." Right? And that is what they are doing, man. They are decreeing unrighteous decrees. Saying them are frame mischief by Allah. Understand? Them are persecute those who stand up for justice, right? Stand up for equity, stand up for righteousness' sake, right? That is going to come in the days. That is what is going to come in the days ahead, man. You see me? And with that, you have the famine of the world, right? Because soon and very soon, they're gonna start lockdown. They tried it, right? They tried to lock down the social media pages and cancel a lot of brother pages. Right, but what they are doing right now is that they are blacklisting the pages where you can't see certain brothers' page unless you search for it directly. You understand? So more of these things are coming, man, because what? We are nearing the time of the end, yo. See? So with that out, that this lesson was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. I want to say Kalalal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kodash. The bonus to the elders and apostles of Great Stone, and salutations to all the brothers pushing this work in all sincerity and in all truth. Shalom.